Hey everybody, if you found this video useful or interesting in any way, please give me a like and subscribe. That would help out a lot for the growth of this channel, and it'll let me know that I'm doing something that you enjoy. All right? See ya. All right, today let's cover one of the biggest topics in the health space, which is nutrition, weight management, weight loss. We're going to kind of group it all into one section because diving into individual factors can be a little bit confusing. But everywhere I go, I see people talk about specific diets and how they are superior in doing something over another diet. And a lot of the time, people focus on specific nutrients, foods, all sorts of things like that, basically trying to say that one way is better than another. And a large fallacy related to this is selecting natural, quote unquote, foods over other options purely based on the fact that they are natural. And also, trying to select certain food groups, whether it's eating only meat in like a carnivore type sense, or cutting out carbs, or whatever it is, right? So in order to kind of cover this topic as a whole, I'll try and keep focused as much as possible with whatever I can. If I get a little sidetracked because I get heated, I apologize ahead of time. So anyway, nutrition as it relates to weight management comes down to calories. And of course, we want to make sure that we are eating enough of our target macronutrients. So our macronutrients are our proteins, fats, and carbs. We need to have a good understanding of what those goals look like for our own individual health and goals in life. So, if you're training as an athlete or somebody who's looking to lose fat, for instance, that has to be the number one kind of focus above all. So understanding what your macro needs are. And generally speaking, when it comes to this, protein is kind of the first topic that the majority of nutrition experts try to hone in on as it relates to having a performance related goal. So if we're training for a sport, we want to make sure that we're getting enough protein because there's a lot of building and repair that happens on the musculoskeletal type of environment. And then also, you're going to be losing a lot of micronutrients and different things like that along the way when you're exercising vigorously. So once you've kind of covered your protein goals overall, when you have an outline of that, then you can get a little bit more individualized with your carb and fat goals. So if you're more in the performance space, it's definitely recommended to get your carbs in, because carbs are a great, easy, quick fuel source required for many sporting activities and training activities. So that's something where you want to have that covered. And when we kind of have an idea of our goals as far as macronutrients, we can have a better idea of what our calories will look like. So obviously, different macronutrients have different caloric requirements, and you're going to have different energy density for protein, fat, and carbs. Protein and carbs are the same at 4 kilocalories for your grams. And then the same thing is going to be kind of consistent with fats, which is 9. So again, that's going to be highly individualized. But when people make these arguments of calories not mattering as it relates to, well, if you just eat healthy, calories don't matter. And it's a completely fallacious way of thinking, because if you're choosing to eat more fruits and vegetables, let's say, and lean meat, you are reducing your calories, regardless of what you do. If that's your staple in eating versus, let's say, 2 months ago you were eating pizza regularly and hamburgers a lot, all that kind of stuff. You're eating out regularly, and then all of a sudden you decide to eat clean. You're going to be reducing calories just by your decisions. So it isn't that calories don't matter. And recently I saw somebody talk about, it was a commentary on somebody's page, and they were talking about how everybody's calories are different and it changes dependent on the person. And yes, this is true, but I think the messaging is incorrect because what they're trying to say, they don't necessarily have a great understanding. People talk about your basal metabolic rate. So your metabolism, as everyone knows it, for just functioning in life. And your metabolism can change dependent on your lifestyle. So that means if you are heavier, you are going to be burning more calories overall to sustain your existence. So you need to consume more calories. And obviously people tend to overconsume, and that's where they get into trouble. But as you are consuming more calories, you are subsequently going to be burning more calories to create homeostasis, which is what the body prefers. It prefers to be in a state of survivability where everything is maintained. But obviously, if you're over-consuming and you're starting to gain weight and all of those types of things, then you're throwing your body out of whack in the sense of if that's chronic, so then there's a whole host of issues that happen. But anyway, when folks talk about calories not mattering and everybody's caloric needs are different, really, this is why it's valuable to work with a professional, because they're going to tell you, what your caloric needs are based on your height, weight, activity levels, all those things that give us good estimates on your caloric expenditure. And then we can try to either create a state of homeostasis, so we're maintaining, we're increasing a little bit to put on some muscle mass and some size, or we're decreasing in a progressive manner that allows you to have the opportunity to be successful over time, rather than these crash diets that everyone ends up doing, and then they gain all the weight back and more on average in the long term. So why do folks say to eat certain things and eat less of something and do things differently as a whole? There's a huge criticism nowadays of people in the health space and in social media saying that doctors aren't with you and whatever. First off, physicians don't know everything about nutrition, unfortunately. But I also don't generally hear physicians saying, eat whatever. The context matters for an individual on an individual basis, but most physicians are telling you, eat whole foods primarily, eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, get plenty of physical activity, reduce stress. Those are kinds of things that are normal across the board for most medical doctors to tell you, unless they're like completely shilling out for some type of product and all that stuff. So that brings me to these people that tell you to eat a certain way, and they have a solution to a problem that is very difficult to fix, which is we tell people year in and year out to eat better, exercise more, and have less stress. And of course, folks don't really get that stuff hammered home, so they need a different route. Oh, it doesn't work for me, whatever. Maybe you need help. Maybe you need coaching. Maybe you need, there's psychosocial components to eating and eating choices and all of that. So maybe there's some help that's required there. But simply stating that you need to go carnivore to fix all of your issues, or no carb to fix all your issues, or fasting to fix all your issues. These are all solutions that are based on somebody selling a product, whether that product is themselves and they're getting value out of that, or it's purely based on them having some relationship with some supplement company or whatever it is. But anyway, bottom line, I know it's not easy to hear this stuff. I know it's something that is contentious and people will disagree on, and that's fine. I don't really care. You can have whatever opinion you want, Make whatever choices you want. It's your body. But if you are struggling with this, or you know people that are struggling with this, or you have genuine health concerns, then you need to be seeking a professional to help you out. All right.